Hey everybody, welcome back to the video on my drama channel. So KSI got cancelled yet again. KSI has been involved in a couple of controversies, but this time he did something, well, I wouldn't say it's terrible, like really bad, but it's still, it's still something that definitely deserves to have some criticism at least, I'll read an article that talks about this. KSI apologizes, deletes YouTube video, and plans social media break after racial slur sparks outrage. This article was written on April 3rd, today, 2023. It's on the deadline. Okay, here it is. KSI, the British YouTuber with more than 24 million subscribers, has apologized and said he's taking a social media break after using a racial slur during his latest video. KSI has become known for being at the forefront of the YouTube boxing craze, but on Sunday evening appeared with the Simon Friends in a video based on the UK game show Countdown. In the letters and numbers game, players must create the longest word possible from a string of random vowels and consonants within the 30-second time limit. KSI, real name JJ Olantuji, created the word P-I from a selection of letters, an offensive abbreviation in Pakistan used to describe South Asians. You know what I mean. P, begins with a P, four-letter word begins with a P, ends with an I. We know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't use that here because I need to say monetize, so you know what I'm talking about. You can you can pick up what I'm putting down. Yeah. From a selection of letters, an offensive abbreviation of Pakistan used to describe South Asians. His Simon Friends can be seen giggling at his word choice, but others were not amused after a clip KSI slur went viral on Twitter where users voiced outrage. Okay, there's one tweet saying, "Nah, KSI are not funny, man. You cannot say PKI in any context. These all do anything for content." Bobby Friction, a BBC radio DJ, said, "I had this racial slur thrown at me, and I got physical beats by racists for my entire childhood. Genuinely upset that KSI, a guy my children love, did this and thought it was funny. The rest of them laughing can go F themselves too." Guz Khan, star of BBC comedy Man Like Mobeen, added, "You see, KSI, the issue you have here is that a lot of Pakistanis can make things very difficult for you and anyone giggling in this video. When they catch up with you, I hope the did a countdown joke was worth it." The Simon YouTube account has since turned the countdown video to private, meaning it can't be viewed by users. KSI issued an apology on Twitter, and here it is. "I want to apologize for saying a racial slur in a recent Sidemen video. There's no excuse, no matter the circumstances. I shouldn't have said it, and I'm sorry. I've always said to my audience that they shouldn't worship me or put me on a pedestal because I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm going to mess up in life, and I lately have been messing up a lot. So I decided I'm going to just take a break from social media for a while," which is understandable. Usually when something happens like this, when someone makes a big mistake on social media, they take a break to get away from all the drama and from all the toxicity. Okay, and Paki slur. Okay, Paki is a term typically directed towards people of Pakistani from descent, mainly in British slang, as offensive slur is often used indiscriminately towards people of perceived South Asian descent in general. As a slur is used primarily in the United Kingdom, the Benelux, and Canada, where the term is commonly associated with P-bashing, which is a violent attacks against people of perceived Pakistani and South Asian origin. The use of the term P was first recorded in 1964 during a period of increased South Asian immigration in the United Kingdom. At this time, the term P was very much in mixed usage. It was often used as a slur. In addition to Pakistanis, which included Bangladeshis up to 1971, it has also been directed at people of other South Asian backgrounds as well as people from other demographics who physically resemble South Asians. Starting in the late 1960s and peaking in the 1970s and 1980s, violent gangs opposed to immigration took part in the attacks known as P-bashing, which targeted and assaulted South Asians and business owned by them, and occasionally other ethnic minorities. P-bashing became more common for Anish Powell's Rivers of Blood speech in 1968. Polls at the time showed Powell's anti-immigrant rhetoric held support among the majority of white populace at the time. P-bashing featured in the 1970s to 1980s, with the attackers often being supporters of the far-right fascist, racist, and anti-immigrant movements, including the White Power Skinheads, the National Front, and the British National Party. These attacks are usually referred to as either P-bashing or skinhead terror, with the attackers usually called P-bashers as skinheads. P-bashing is probably fueled by media's anti-immigrant and anti-P rhetoric at the time, with systemic failures of state authorities, which included reporting racist attacks, the criminal justice system not taking racist violence seriously, because constant racial harassment by police, and since police involvement in racist violence. Asians are frequently stereotyped as weak and passive in the 1960s and 1970s, with Pakistanis viewed as passive objects and unwilling to fight back, making them seen as easy targets by P-bashers. The Joint Campaign Against Racism Committee reported there have been more than 20,000 racist attacks on British people of color, including Britons of South Asian origin, during 1985. strong inspiration from the African American civil rights movement, the Black Power movement, and the anti-apartheid movement. Young British and Asian activists began a number of anti-racist youth movements against Paki bashing, including the Bradford Youth Movement in 1977, the Bangladeshi Youth Movement following the murder of Altab Ali in 1978, and the Newham Youth Movement following the murder of Akhar Ali Beg in 1980. The earliest groups to resist P-bashing dated back to 1968 to 1970, with two distinct movements that emerged. Integrationist approach began by the P Welfare Association, National Federation of Pakistani Associations, to establish positive race relations while maintaining law and order, which is contrasted with its autonomous approach began by the Pakistani Progressive Party and the Pakistani Workers' Union, which engaged in vigilantism as self-defense against racially motivated violence and police harassment and conduction of the Black Power movement, often working the British Black Panthers and Communist Workers' League of Britain, while also seeking to replace the weak and passive stereotypes of Pakistanis and Asians. Visions arose in integrationist and autonomous movements by 1970, which integrationist leader Raja Mubada criticizing the vigilantism of the latter as alien to the spirit and practice of Islam, whereas PWU leader Abdul Hai stated they have no intention of fighting or killing anyone, but it comes to us, will hit back. Now, in the 80s and 90s, academics going to take racially motivated violence in serious focus, partly as a result of Black and Asian people entering into academic life. In the 21st century, some younger British Pakistanis and other British South Asians attempted to reclaim the word just to rebel the LGBT reclamation of their slurs and the African reclamation of their slur. Peterborough businessman Abdul Rahim reduces merchandise reclaiming the word equates to more socially accepted terms such as, those slurs, things more similar to them than is to the N-word, as it denotes a nationality and not a biological race. However, British Pakistanis use the word is not acceptable even among members of their community due to historical usage in a negative way. So yeah, as you can see, it's a word that we try to avoid, especially people in Britain try to avoid using that slur. Let me continue reading. So KSI issued an apology on Twitter. I want to apologize for saying a racial slur in a recent Sidemen video. There's no excuse no matter the circumstance. I shouldn't have said, and I'm sorry, he said. I've always said to my audience they shouldn't worship me or put me on a pedestal because I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm going to mess up in life. And they've been messing up a lot. So I'm just going to take a break from social media for a while. So yeah, it's, while... Now, I don't think he's racist personally, okay? If I'd say to myself, I don't think KSI is racist. I don't think he is racist. There's no indication that he is racist. I actually enjoy his content personally. But I have to admit that he probably shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have said that at all. Not probably shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have said that, period. But, when you're a YouTuber with such a huge influence, a large audience, and when people are watching you, when the whole world is watching you, you got to watch what you say. You got to be careful with the stuff you're saying, And I'm surprised KSI wasn't aware of the connotation of that word, considering the fact that he is from the United Kingdom. He lives in the United Kingdom, so he's from the United Kingdom. So I'm surprised that he wasn't aware of the connotation of that word. If you assuming that he didn't know about that word being offensive, assuming he didn't know about it being offensive, assuming he didn't, But if he did, I don't think he's racist. I just think he made a bad decision. I think he just made a mistake. Just made a mistake. Because we all make mistakes. So no need to beat him up over it forever. Obviously not, He made a mistake, he apologized, and he owned up to it. That's the important thing. I'm not saying that what he did was okay, absolutely not, because we got to watch what we say out there, but I think he learned his lesson. I think he learned his lesson, and you'll get better from this, for sure. KSI will get better from this, from saying that slur. You just got to be careful what you say out there. Got to watch what you say, because people are not going to take this stuff lightly. People that are Asian like myself, South Asian like myself, have been the target of harassment and racial slurs in the past. So obviously you're not going to take stuff like that lightly. So it's gonna affect you personally, I can imagine. So, but KSI, I think he's learning from this. I think he's learning from this. He is learning. He made a mistake and he owned up to it. So he definitely be careful to not let this happen again. I'm pretty sure he won't let it happen again anyway. But yeah, those are just my thoughts, on my whole thoughts on KSI and his racial slur controversy. But yeah, take care, everybody. Another video from my drama channel.